have the Vice President of the Grenada Organization for Consumer Affairs, Mr. Milton Coy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Daybreak. How are you doing this morning?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
You normally get up this early?
Yeah. I have a pattern. I wake up. I have my phone to alarm a certain time, and it's got a program. So I'm around this time. I'm up.
Great stuff. Good. We like to have guests like that who just fit right in. All right. So tell me what you're here to talk about this morning.
Well, this morning we want to talk about the activities around the anniversary celebration of our organization. I'm talking about the Grenada Organization for Consumer Affairs.
Mm-hmm.
On the 24th of March 2011, mm-hmm. we were formed, we were launched, and at a ceremony at the National Stadium, mm-hmm. we formally came into existence.
Okay.
So it's been
a 1 year anniversary.
Yes,
okay.
yes, and in addition to that, on March 15th, we observed World Consumer Rights Day, mm-hmm. and it's an international activity where consumer organizations from all over the world observe that day as World Consumer Rights Day. So it's around this period, mm-hmm. we are in that mode of observing, of celebrating, of reflecting, and as well as to plan again to see what we can do for the next year or two.
All right, just for the folks who don't know, tell us exactly what the Grenada Organization for Consumer Affairs deals with exactly.
The Grenada Organization for Consumer Affairs, let's say GOCA, that's how we call it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
First of all, we stand on the motto, working for the consumer's best interest. The consumer's best interest. What is in the interest of consumer? That's what we stand on, mm-hmm. as far as whatever we do. And in what is in accomplishing that, we take the approach of education, mm-hmm. public awareness, education. First of all, we have to empower our own selves with knowledge, right. about the issues of consumerism. Mm-hmm. So we and also as a result of that, we now have to educate the public on those issues.
Okay.
So basically, we do advocacy. We have not really yet reached to the stage where we deal with complaints per se, mm-hmm. but there are other organizations around that can deal with that. But our focus really is to contribute towards the education process so that people can become aware, know what their rights are. Mm-hmm. As a consumer, you must know what your rights are. Mm-hmm. But we have not only stopped at rights. We also believe that because one might have rights, there will be responsibilities. So as a consumer, we're saying to you, get to know what your rights are as well as what your responsibilities would be.
Okay.
Basically.
All right. So over the past year, tell us some of the specific activities that y'all have done.
Okay, some of the things that we have done, as I said, in keeping with the whole process, we are just 1 year and we are growing. That's the process of growth. We believe that we should empower our own selves. Persons who are interested in offering themselves as advocates, on behalf of consumers, they become members of the organization, and we have been empowering ourselves. Mm-hmm. In other words, getting to understand a lot of the issues. We had the opportunity to attend a couple seminars in the region, mm-hmm. so as to contribute towards that part. We have been doing some very active work with the secondary school students, and in particular, we have done some work with TAMCC students. Mm-hmm. For example, in December gone, we had what we call a shopping right campaign, mm-hmm. where students went out to the various business places and determine whether they carrying any expiry dates on the shelves, right. and things of that sort. Mm-hmm. So that was part of them understanding the process, not just hearing about consumer issues, mm-hmm. but they themselves participating and getting involved in a first-hand way the issues of consumer affairs, like expiry dates. Mm-hmm. How many of us are concerned that when we go to buy anything on shelves, that we see that it's not expired, it's harmful.
Right. So,
So
as
I'm saying,
one of your rights
yes,
to,
of course,
to check those
so
things.
these are some of the things. As I said, we had a training where we involved the unit from the Ministry of Finance that deals with consumer affairs. We also collaborated with the Grenada Bureau of Standards. So there and then we came together for that training, and that training was held at the Grenada Bureau of Standards office.
Okay.
These are some of the things, apart from the meetings, and the little advocacy here and there. But these are some of the things that we would have done during the past year. And we will continue to build on that and grow. As I said, our whole motto is based on what is in the best interest of consumers.
Best interest of
so we'll do it, and we'll want Grenadians to be aware of what their rights are.
Right. So, for your 1 year anniversary, what activities do you have planned, and what things you all have in place?
We're going to be having a public forum, again, to address our issue. In fact, in observing World Consumer Rights Day, the theme from an international standpoint, because I must also mention that we are members of the Caribbean Consumer Council.
Okay.
And also an observer, we have observer status with consumers international. So we are going to be observing what they give, what they recommend as the theme, and for that activity it was campaigning for a real choice in financial services. So in other words, we also will want to have a discussion on the area of, do consumers have real choices in financial services?
Right.
So we want to hold a public forum on that, and that will be very early in next month. We're going to have that as part of our public activity as we reflect on 1 year of service and some of the issues that we will want to do in the years to come. Okay. Certainly, one of those things that we definitely will want to continue doing is the area of public education. Go to schools and have meetings and forums so that persons can know. And even on programs as these deal with issues, respond to issues and so on. But this is basically where we are going and where we're heading for.
Okay, so when and where is that activity going to take place, the public forum?
Yeah, the public forum is, the date I think is, I can't remember exactly what day next week.
Oh, but it's next week,
yes,
soon?
Yes,
okay.
yes, but we will inform, I can get that message to you, so
sure. So we'll be more than happy to
can pass on. But we want to have that as part of observing, reflecting, and so on.
This is actually very good. I'm sure a lot of people out there want to know, or they're probably not even aware of their rights as a consumer.
Precisely. You see, we are living in a rights conscious. Well, I would say we in a right conscious mode at this time. Everybody talks about their rights. Everybody's rights. Everybody's rights. Early on, you heard about Royal Titus, a colleague, talking about his rights as a media person. You asked the question, the co-host asked the question about, don't other persons have rights? Right. So everybody these days about rights. So as a consumer, we have rights too. We
have rights as well.
And let's not accept anything. Let's not just accept it because we are starved. Let's not eat expiry date things and that are things that are harmful to us just because of the economic pressure. We have rights. Let's ensure that what we are getting is quality, is standard. That's all. I mean, so don't just give us dump. Expect us to say thanks.
Right. and of course the one that you're going to speak about being a consumer for financial services.
Yes. Real choices. I mean, we in the Caribbean here, we know what it is to suffer because of these financial services.
Right.
So we have to ensure that before we get into anything, that we understand clearly, if that goes wrong, where do I come in?
All right. Well, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show and sharing this with us. I'm sure, as I said, a lot of people at home and people watching right now would be interested in finding out exactly what their consumer rights are.
Yeah.
You know, dealing with either products and so on, or services like financial services. Right?
Yes.
So as soon as you get to us with the dates and time
Yes,
of your forum,
yes,
we'll be happy to share.
I want to also just say on behalf of the president, Mrs. Lois Claxton, who was supposed to be here this morning but couldn't make it, and the other members of the executive, we want to wish all consumers in Grenada, we'll say to all consumers, be strong, hold on, get to know what your rights are, as well as your responsibilities.
All right.
Thanks.
So, of course, folks, you want to be a part of this forum that they'll be having, and be educated as a consumer, find out what your rights are. Thank you, Mr. Coy, for coming on the show.
Okay,
all right.